welcome to another video. Today we're going to be doing something a little different, of course. So, as you can tell, I cut my hair. We went on vacation and I got this pretty little outfit. But it doesn't exactly suit my wishes, I guess, my desired wishes. So we're going to modify it a little bit. So as you can kind of see, this is pants. These are like really baggy pants. And since they are amazing, we unfortunately have to make it a dress. Because the main problem is right here, on the belt line. The pants hang below the belly button, and the shirt is above the belly button. So, it is a bit uncomfortable that way. So I literally have to tuck the pants up into the shirt. So I want to make it a one piece. In order for that to actually officially work, we have to make this into a dress. So what is the first step, of course? Well, the first step is to, of course, take this off, put on normal clothes, and then we're going to basically open up this middle seam in the pants, right, like in the crotch, open that up, and then sew them together, just kind of like real simple like that. And then the hard part is to sew these two pieces together in order to make a one piece so that it sticks together and I don't have to constantly worry about tucking in my pants. So, now that you know what I'm doing, I'm going to be showing you. Without further ado, let's go! Okay, so now that I'm out of my outfit, let's take a closer look of what I'm talking about, because obviously it was kind of hard to show you my pants while they were on, since the camera records like that, not like this. So anyways, so you got the pants, you know, there's the crotch, and there's the legs. So basically, we're going to take this seam that feeds into the crotch and down the pant leg, kind of like on the inside, and just completely rip it open. You know, and you can also kind of see it on my jeans, you know, like this seam right here. That's what we're going to be pulling apart. So I have with me just some little scissors that are kind of very pointy. I don't have a thread cutter. Those are like actually specifically made for cutting seams if you need to, say, modify clothes or you made a mistake. Those are actually invented, but I don't have any. So we're just basically going to grab the seam. This is the inside seam, right? Yeah. Okay, gotta make sure I'm cutting the right seam here. So I'm gonna grab the seam, I'm kind of like pull the fabrics apart, and then I'm gonna start snipping the, here we go, the fabric, so that way it starts pulling apart. And we're just going to simply do that and open it up. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and then once I'm done, I'll show you how I'm going to sew it together to kind of make a dress. It's pretty kind of simple if you think about it. Sorry, I'm not saying like you're stupid or anything, but I can just like envision what it's going to look like, but for some people that may be harder to just see how it's done. So I'll be showing you it. So first step, cutting the seam. Without further ado, let's go! Alrighty, so now that you have the seam split, you can see there, it's split. The first thing you gotta do is turn it inside out, basically, and it's because, you know, it's a lot easier to sew it with when it's inside out, so that way when you flip it, it looks pretty. You know, the seam, you don't really see a seam, that kind of a thing. Okay, fold it inside out. Bam. And with this fabric frays really quickly. Like, the strings are starting to form on the fabric with like the at the end. So sewing this all together faster than waiting is best. So basically, so you can see where the pant lines are, where they would just connect here and here, you know? We're just going to basically take the front two ones and put them together. Okay? So, what makes folding it inside out so easy is that basically you can just pinch them together and then pin it like so, and then that way you can just sew it when it's pinched together, and when you fold it inside out, there will be a beautiful seam like thing. So also be very careful with the pins not to poke yourself, as well as to not leave them when sewing, otherwise they will often the little buds of them will bend your needle, your sewing needle, if you're using a machine. So be very careful of that. And you can kind of see that I'm kind of leaving I'm not sure if you can see it, but basically, I shall carefully zoom in without kneeling on the needles. Okay, so if you, wait. So if you take a look here, I am leaving just a bit of space on the edge of the fabric to not be too close to the ends, which could create holes, or also because of this bad fabric edge fraying. If you don't leave any space, whenever you put tension on the string, on the seam, it will most likely split faster. So it's always good to leave some space. Try and yes. Oops, wrong way. I always do that. Okay, so I'm just gonna pin one side together and then sew it and then pin the other side, so that way I'm not, you know, I can keep track of all these pins. You know. Okay, now the next step is to, of course, sew it. So I got machine all set up, ready to go. I'm going to grab my fabric. And I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up into like the crotch area, just to make sure that there is no like fabric underneath it, because you want to make sure. Or actually, I guess it doesn't really matter, because you're basically going to go down it folded like this, as you can see, you know. So I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll go on, yeah, this way felt better. So we're going to go down here. Actually, we can't. Okay. With the little pins facing up so you can grab them. And then, yeah. So now that you know what you're doing, I'm going to be speeding this process up so you can see it in action. Without further ado, let's go! Okay, so now that we, ow, I just hit my elbow. Ah. Okay, there's Lucy. So now that we got this one side done, right here, you see we got a good seam going. You know, we kind of open it up, bada bing, bada boom. Look how pretty that seam is. Now we gotta simply just do the other side the exact same type of step, so there's nothing really new to talk about. So I'm going to speed this whole process up so you can see it in action. Without further ado, let's go. Arky darky. Okay, so now the final step is to attach the top part with the bottom part. So you can see I have both of them right here. I'm also sandwiched between Lucy right here. Little sweetheart. Anyways, so I have the bottom dress currently still inside out. So you can see there's a tag. And then I also have the top piece inside out. So yeah. So that's gonna go over the waist strap and like slip in like that. And then I'm just gonna pin it to where it goes all the way around. And whenever I pull it inside out, it should still have a very similar seam to how we did it for the pants. Yeah. Just one thing to note, whenever you're doing something like this, make sure that you're not just laying it flat on the machine to go straight through, because not only will you sew this, but you'll also sew the back together, so you won't have a hole. You'll have to like kind of open it up, slide the top in halfway in the machine like this, and just have it rotating around it, so that way you're not risking sewing all the layers together, because that is no bueno. Okay, well, now that I've kind of explained it, I'm going to speed this process up so you can see it in action. Without further ado, let's go. And ta-da! Here it is in all of its glory. So I think it is much nicer as a dress. Not having like the big baggy pants. Even though that was kind of fun just like running aggressively with it, hearing it like, you know. But this is still just as good. And you can see here on the, okay, I'll just, excuse me. You can kind of see here, the shirt looks like it's tucked in all nice and like. So yeah, I'd say the only bad part is like right here. You can kind of see where it bunched up a little bit. I think that's just because the shirt is a hair smaller with the radius than the waist pants. So that is a bit of a problem, but honestly it isn't very noticeable, especially how the shirt kind of bags a little bit. Right here it kind of bags, so honestly it is covered perfectly and like it's still stretchy very well, so like you can easily get it around your waist, and it, you know, does a nice slim kind of outline of your body. Yeah, and then I don't know, these pants were surprisingly a lot easier to sew together than I was expecting. I felt like I had to do some kind of weird folding of the edges, but honestly it's very cut and dry. This was a very simple yet effective project and it honestly worked very well. You see, it's just, I don't know, it's a lot better. It's a very good outfit, like dress. Now, another thing I will say is that like whenever I did kind of like cut the seam of the pants, the little part that tucks you know, right in your crotch, there you can kind of still see like the nooks on the dress that kind of like tuck in or out because of the way the pants had to be kind of shaped for that kind of fitting. So very interesting to learn how these weird shapes are put together in order to make outfits and dresses and uniforms, that kind of a thing. So honestly, all in all, I'm very happy with this project. It was very easy. I don't think I got frustrated with this at all. Unlike my that stuffed animal project that I did with the dog, that was a bit stressful. Not only was I kind of on a time crunch, but also understanding how folding and like flipping the pieces inside out to where they look good was a bit tricky to kind of understand how that might look, because I was trying to think about how it looks. But anyways, this dress is amazing and it was super easy. And that's it. I think I've just been repeating myself. It's just, I don't know, it's good, even though I just sewed 2 pieces together instead of like hand making all of it. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Bye!